Let's go. Game time. The standard is the standard. That's our motto. That's our creed.
Whew, here we go. All right, everybody, welcome to the Better Baby Daddy podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, John Laxman.
I'm your other co-host, Kelly Burgess.
And today, gentlemen, we're going to talk about how your circle might be your problem or one of your problems. Specifically, your circle isn't loyal. It's comfortable with your weakness. Ouch.
Yes.
Hit me a little bit.
Yes.
I'm someone that is constantly reflecting on the individuals that are in my life. I've told people what I do, and they're like, yo, that's cold. And I'm like, well, I got to make sure I have the right people. Yeah. And what I'll do is I'll write down a list of names that I interact with.
Really?
And then I'll put, that person is a once a month person.
Really?
That person is a once a week person.
Wow.
That person got to go.
Right.
And then I need more time with this individual.
Yeah. Right.
And people are like, you do that?
Hey.
Then they're like, where am I on the list?
You 7 seed. See you in the fall.
See you in the fall.
You're a football season dude. Hey, I've never heard it looked at like that, My circle's already full because I got 10 kids. So it's like 10 kids and a wife and 2 dogs. So the inner circle's packed.
Yeah.
But that's a unique way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives clarity and a savagery. It's like you just care about who's going to be in your ear and yanking you along, right? Yeah, you're very purposeful about it.
Absolutely. We're reading a book right now. It's called The 5 Types of Wealth, and we'll dive into our specifics here in a second. But he talks about social wealth, and he talks about, you can separate relationships into 3 general categories. And there's ones that are beneficial, the ones that are detrimental, and the ones that kind of like go back and forth. Like, yeah, there's some benefits, there's some badness, there's some badness. There's some not so good things about these relationships, but you don't really know what to expect when you're interacting with this person. And studies looked at that, and they found that the relationship where you don't know what to expect actually ends up being the most detrimental to you.
Wow. And why is that? Because you can't count on a certain outcome from a relationship.
Exactly. Gotcha. You don't know what you're getting from that person.
Right.
So the anxiety of interacting with that individual.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. All right. Hey, so, the whole crux today is like choose your friends wisely and be intentional about it because, as you said in previous episodes, your path is going to be challenging. You don't need to have it be more challenging by having people in the boat that you can't trust.
Absolutely there. You know what I realized, B?
What's that?
This is a little off task or off topic.
First of all, I'm glad to be a 2 time a week guy.
Bro, you're every day.
Every day. That's
and it's not proximity.
Right, I appreciate that. Absolutely.
Now I forgot what I was going to say. Who knows?
You said, you know what I was going to say? I said something about people in the boat, and it'll come to you.
Let's get rolling.
Let's get it.
So why most men are rarely challenged by friends? So why are most men rarely challenged by their group of friends?
I think there's something in us that thinks challenging a conflict means I'm not being a good friend.
Wow.
And you're comfortable. The group gets this kind of stasis where it's like, oh, we always do that, right? And anybody who's doing something different steps out and then starts challenging. So you step out and do something different, you're automatically challenging the status quo because you're doing something different. And then when you say, hey, man, you said you wanted to do this, like I'm doing it, but you still doing that, then you've really, ramped up things. So I just think it upsets the status quo.
I think it's almost a form of wrongly executed attempts at protection. Right? Like, I don't want to say this to my boy because he might get upset, so I'm going to protect him from saying this. It might hurt our relationship. It might hurt the dynamic between us.
Right.
It might just cause some chaos that I'm not willing to deal with. So maybe there's a little fear in that as well.
Right.
I know when I look at myself, the people that I have had the longest lasting relationships with, I'm more apt to challenge.
Challenge you.
No, to challenge them.
You're okay.
So I'm speaking from that perspective. Right. So like I have some friends that I've had for 20, 30 years. They know that I'm going to say certain things to them.
Right.
That maybe they wouldn't say to each other.
Right.
They know that I'm going to come at them in certain situations. Yeah. But they also know it's coming from a real place.
Yeah.
It's coming from love.
Right.
So, but even with saying those things, you're like, all right, I'm going to say this.
Right.
I don't know how they're going to take it,
right.
but I'm going to say it.
Right. Yeah, you're a rare one, man. You're a rare one. You know, I can't think of a lot of cats outside of my dad and maybe the two of my really closest friends outside of professional situation and another professional contact that we both know who were like, look, this is what I see. You might not see it, but you need to see it. And I'm gonna rock with you either way. They're rare. Like, they're rare.
I think you and I have developed a unique relationship to where we're on the precipice of doing that to each other almost.
Yeah.
We do it subtly to each other.
You do it in the week when we had the weekly calls and you're like, you always had to follow up. Like we'll say about the goals or something got hit, something didn't get hit. And you're like, hey, B, let me ask you a question. Let me press into that. And let me push back on that. I'm like, here we go. No, but it's good because it's so rare.
Yeah.
And it's easy as a man to be isolated. And then if you got somebody in your inner circle who's rocked with you through a difficult time, like a breakup or something like that, they've sat with you. They might have, been on eggshells, wondering how much to press in. But a real one would say, yeah, you really screwed up. You said you wanted to do this, but you was out here boning other ladies. And that's not going to create an atmosphere where you can be a good co-parent, yo. I'm just saying. Give me another old fashioned here, bro, and some chips. Yeah. And, but they'll do that with you, right?
Yes.
They're rare.
I agree 100%. Yep. The one gentleman that you had referenced there, he'll tell you straight like it is. And then he'll go have a drink with you.
Yes.
And there's no hard feeling.
None.
You have to have people, you have to have at least one person in your life that is going to call you out on your shot.
Yeah. I call them spinach removers. The ones that will tell you that's something you teach. Just saying. What's going on? You need some lotion. You need a couple dudes like that.
No, you really do. You
do.
Without those people, you just kind of are left to your own ability or lack of ability to reflect and reset.
Yeah. And if you allow a dude or a couple dudes like that, then you will become that dude in your circle too.
Right.
Which is the second point. When you do that and you're like, man, let me reflect. Yeah, you're right. I need to move differently. That was kind of greasy. You become less greasy. Then you have kind of the social heft to say, hey, man, I noticed this in your life. I noticed this little speck in your eye. Yeah, I've been where you've been. And it makes you the strong one, which that's not always comfortable too when they're the strong one in the group.
Yeah. Which brings us to slightly next to our number 2 point today, and that is the danger of being the strong one in a weak circle.
Yeah. Well, the danger is if you remain that and you look around, it's like, ain't nobody really challenging me. You don't get challenged. You don't grow. You don't have a proper perspective on what you know and what you don't know. You think you know everything.
Right. Like it's like being the smartest person in the room.
Exactly.
Find a new room.
Yes.
Strongest person in the room. Find a new room.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there are going to be individuals that just simply aren't able to come with you. You might yank some with you to that new room, and they're like, oh, this is what we're doing over here. But some will get left behind. Yeah. And that's unfortunate part of the process of growth. People either say, yo, this dude's growing. I'm going to latch on to him. Right. I'm going to start doing what he's doing, start changing my life because I see that positive growth. Right. Or there's going to be people like, oh, he's different. He's changing.
Yeah.
He don't even go out and drink no more. He's too cool for that. He's too good for that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So the danger is you can stagnate your own growth.
Yes.
In the context of everything we're sharing, it's about you, but it's also about your children. And so when you move into these other rooms that challenge you, you're automatically building this reservoir of skills for your kids. You're automatically normalizing, hey, we level up. we don't denigrate or judge anybody, but personally, we've made a list. We know what we want to do, and we're acting on that. And so it gives your kids a template of like, this is how you roll, man. You watch your circle, and you're continually leveling up your circle and inviting them along.
This point too, in regards to being the strongest person in a weak room, eventually that influence, that weakness is going to graft onto you in a sense.
No doubt.
Right? You're going to fall back a level.
Yep.
If you're the strongest person surrounded by 5 other weak individuals, their habits and behaviors are going to wear off on you.
Yeah. There's a great verse in the Bible that says bad company corrupts good morals. Like, you can go into the room with great morals.
Yeah.
And you are in that environment enough, it gets eroded. Something you would have gone into and said, nah, I can't rock with this and remove myself. I appreciate you guys. Then the next time is like, let me stay a little longer. And the next time is like, you're setting up to meet up. It is going to wear on you. It's unavoidable. So, when you feel yourself compromising and just being satisfied with that, it's time to move on to another room.
And we're going to, towards the end of this, I don't think it's up there today, B, but I want to talk about how we find new rooms. And what that process looks like. So I don't want to just leave them with, hey, go find a new room and not tell them how to.
Okay.
But number 3 right now is how shared bad habits feel like loyalty. Man, look, we all want loyal friends at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We want someone that's, like we've talked about in the past, that 3 a.m. friend.
Yes.
Like that dude that's like, yo, what's up? I got you. Where we at? But those shared bad habits are not loyalty.
Yeah, they're handcuffs. And
turn into handcuffs.
They can. Right. And it's hard to break those because it kind of is a thing that bonded you. And then when you start acting different and acting uppity or acting bougie because you just want something different, it's going to cause some tension. It's a misplaced devotion to a person through a negative habit. And you got to be able to call the habit what it is and say, no, for my sake and my kids' sake, so I was framing with that, we're thinking long term. I got.
The first sentence you said there was so powerful. I'm going to repeat it, that you may have bonded over bad habits. You may have bonded over going out Friday nights, hitting the club, going to the bar, going to happy hour. And that bond that was created is strong.
Very.
But now I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
So now I'm acting different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I am.
Yeah.
Because I'm moving in a different direction. So how do you maintain a relationship that was built over some negative habits, some bad habits?
Yeah, I think some of them naturally fall off because you're not feeding them. And if people want to be with you, they'll reach out to you.
That's real loyalty, right?
They will. They'll reach out. They'll make sure you stay in the kind of sequence of communication, right? They'll make time for you. They'll go meet you where you are. So if you used to go to happy hours and get 3 bone crushers in, and that was like y'all norm, and now it's, no, man, let's go to a seminar. You throw out, an invitation to seminar. I'm going to this, financial fitness seminar. Why don't you roll me on that? A real one will roll with you on that, or at least be like, oh, okay, I'll meet you there afterwards or something like that. But your activity weeds it out because you're not feeding the old activity.
Not feeding the old activity. You started to feed something new.
Yeah.
You're forcing growth in a different direction. Correct. And sometimes that person's going to roll with you, and sometimes that person's not going to roll with you. And that's when you get to the point where you start making that list and you're checking it twice. But that's a great point, though. This right here is that loyalty versus standards, right? So I view myself as a loyal friend, but I also have certain standards. Yeah. Those standards that I have may feel like a lack of loyalty to certain people in my life.
Right. Yeah.
And I have to be okay with that.
Yeah. And you could, and it's funny because the way you roll, it's very clear what's important to you. That's why I was sitting out there 10 minutes earlier, they reading the book, because I was like, my man, starting on time, being on time is important. And
here I was fixing cones in the parking lot thinking you weren't here.
Hey, because my identity is 5-10 minutes late. And it really shows a lack of respect for like the thing we're doing and you. And so I was like, I got to do better at that. It's just I got to do better at that. But when you have a group where you are able to pick up the signals the level up signals. You just do it without having to be told, right? But a cat who's not ready for that is either going to fall off and be like, man, what you doing? Why are you stressing so much? It's like, hey man, it's important to me. If it's important to me, it's being important to you. So they'll identify themselves.
They'll identify themselves.
They'll identify themselves. So yeah.
Need X-ray vision for them. Yeah. Loyalty versus standards. That's one thing that anybody that's watching or listening should really reflect on. Is your friend or your friends being loyal? Are they and at the same time, are they meeting your standards?
Yeah.
Because those two things can work together, but they can be opposing as well.
Yeah. And if you're fresh in a breakup, navigating all the stuff we talked about in previous episodes, child support, visitation, drop-offs, maybe trying to fold another relationship into the one that broke out, you have a lot of work that you're doing to create this new identity that's not going to mesh with the dude that got you in the situation. It's just not. And so it's going to naturally feel uncomfortable to your old group because you was doing old group things that created this drama. And now you have to, if you're serious about being a better baby dad, you got to create a new identity. And some of them guys not going to be able to rock with you. They're just not in the same class as you. Not class in terms of high class, low class, but like they're not studying the same curriculum. Like you're trying to become a better baby dad after a breakup. And that is a different set of activities than, we trying to hit some shorties, down at the wharf. It's just different.
It's a different game.
So expect it to be uncomfortable. It's like going to the gym. You got a new gym membership. So
yeah.
So expect some friction there.
Expect some friction. All right. So when we look at that dynamic right there with that friend group, why does growth threaten group identity then?
Yeah. I think it goes back to the first 2 points, people don't really invite challenge into their life. And so when you're growing, you're upsetting the apple cart. And when you're the strong one, you're identifying yourself as, I'm a lead. I'm gonna bring some energy to this thing, and I hope you come along. But even if you don't come along, I'm gonna bring some momentum towards another level I want to be at.
And there's this aspect of it as well, and that is the aspect that our group identity may be a group identity associated with happy hour. That's our group identity. It's happy hour group. Our group identity might be, we're going to Colombia this weekend. That's our group identity. Now, when growth starts to occur in a positive direction, where I'm not going to happy hour, fellas, I'm not going to Colombia for the week. Fellas, I'm doing this.
You mean Colombia, the country?
The country.
Yo.
I'm going to Las Vegas, but I'm going to Las Vegas for a small business seminar.
Yeah.
And I'm not drinking while I'm there.
Yeah.
That challenges that group identity.
Yeah.
Right? Now the group's like, whoa. No, we're the happy hour crew.
Yeah.
We're not the book club crew.
Right.
So that is going to feel uncomfortable to a lot of people. Yeah. And that your uncomfortable growth is going to cause people to look at you differently.
Sure.
And it's going to cause the group to lose its identity in a sense.
Yeah.
They're going to point to you and be like, yeah, we used to have fun. Yeah. Then John stopped doing happy hour.
Yeah. And it's funny. When you were saying that, I was thinking about my sons. I got 7 sons, right? And so 5 of them are 4 of them are in a group chat, and we talk about a lot of stuff, but mainly sports. It was arranged so that we could coordinate, going to, different football games that we need to go to. And then it runs into music and stuff like that. But there's one son who's like, Dad, I can't stand group chats. And so he's not in the group chat. And his brothers understand that.
Yeah.
So we have a whole nother line of communication. We talk about different things. We don't ever talk about sports because he just, that's just not his thing. But and the chats, it's like the chats and conversations are scheduled because my man's locked in. I hope I'm like in the top 5 with his list.
You pinned to the top.
Hey, it's a slide scale, man. Tell him what you got to do. But it threatened. At first I was like, what you mean? And then I had to respect that. My man's breaking away. He's saying, I don't have time. I don't have the bandwidth to be engaged in that. Okay, I gotta respect that. So there's some initial friction, and then I complied. and it kept the relationship strong. So we have a different type of relationship.
That's interesting that you said that, because I look at my group chats and I have a circle of friends. It's a large group chat.
Mm-hmm.
And if I put something in about sports, the group identity is essentially sports, right?
Yeah.
It's sports and calling each other ridiculous, disrespectful names, right? That's what that group chat is, right? If I put something in there on sports, I put something in there about a quote about personal growth. Crickets. Because it challenges the group's identity.
It does. It does. That's it. So
A little reflection
you
for
know,
myself.
be a starter.
Yeah.
Be an S starter.
All right. And finally, we're going to, well, close to wrapping it up here. So it's not finally, actually, but men often choose proximity over alignment. And then, you know what? Just people in general are going to do that. But we talk about men here.
Yeah.
But it's easy to continuously be friends with the people that you were always friends with from a little kid because they live next door, they went to the same school, and then you found a job and you become friends with the people at your job. But those people that were next door when you were a kid, those people at your work that you become friends with aren't aligned on the same path that you are.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of what does James Clear say? When you establish a habit, you remove the friction. So proximity is frictionless. Around you, you're familiar. We have a lot of overlap, at least initially in a relationship, a hobby or a certain geographic location, certain ethnicity, maybe fraternity or sorority, there's something that aligns us and or causes us to be around one another a lot. And then you get to know people. It's like, oh, okay. Are they really aligned with what I'm trying to do? And the alignment, choosing people that are aligned with you, like doing the deep dive into, well, what do you really believe? Like, what do you stand on? That takes work.
Yes.
And in this society right now, I don't know if people really want to work that hard. And then it's like, say there's some things we talked about where we don't necessarily agree. We're on different ends of the spectrum about it, right? But it's like the work of sitting and listening to somebody else and saying, oh, okay, I never considered that. And, we still gonna rock, but it's like that takes work. Yeah. And that is definitely a lost art. Like being able to say, well, what, how did you arrive at that place? Oh, okay. Okay, that's different. I hadn't thought about that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, let's keep pushing forward, right? That takes intentional work. Yeah. And I just don't think a lot of people want to do it.
It's easy to be friends, homies, whatever you want to call it, with the people that are closest to you. Yeah. And I'm talking about physically closest to you.
Yes.
Right? They may not align with you, but, you talk to them every day. And you may have alignment on enough things that cause that relationship to blossom. Right. But structurally, it's built on things like happy hour. Yeah. It's built on things like work. Right? Yeah. So is it really built on, like, this man right here is traveling the same path I'm traveling in regards to personal growth. He wants to go to seminars. Right. He wants to read the same book I'm right. Right. So we can discuss this and then we can take that information and apply it to our lives. Yeah. He's a gym dude. Yeah. All right, cool. Like, is he that person or is he just like, happy hour's fun? Yeah. He tells good jokes. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny when we had this, the big snow break, it kind of like said, oh, okay, who's reaching out? Like, who am I talking to? And there were some people who's like, I didn't talk to you at all because I didn't see your work. It really revealed, it pulled the cover back on some things like, it pulled the cover back on relationships and profession. Like, like, your job is not everything, man. It really revealed it, pulled it down. So
you made your list.
I'm gonna go home and make the list this week. Like I said, the top 12 spots.
They're taken.
Take it. Two more dogs.
So I don't want to leave our audience here today with just, hey, go find a new circle, or your circle's not good enough for you. I want to leave them with some quote unquote tangible things that they can take with them, some actionable items.
There you go.
I got a little teacher talk.
There you go.
In regards to how do we find that new circle and how do we build those new relationships that are going to help us grow as men.
What do you got?
What do I got? Thank you for putting me on the spot after I asked the question.
No, Oh, no, I'll take it. Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
good. I'm good. So when I look at that, you have to step outside your comfort zones. First off, look at the things that you already do
Right.
that are positive in your life.
Yes.
All right. So I'll just use myself as an example.
Okay.
So I go to the gym, right? I love fitness. I love nutrition. I love personal growth.
Okay.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Can I find individuals that are in those areas?
Right.
And how do I find individuals in those areas? So obviously going to the gym, maybe not having my headphones on the entire time with my hoodie up. Right? That's going to be difficult for me as well. So, but obviously there's people in the gym that are focused on fitness and nutrition.
Yeah.
Not everybody there, but most of the people there. So that's one, right? Personal growth. I can attend conferences and seminars, and I've been doing that a lot virtually lately. So there's where I can meet like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
I'm a father. I like reading. All right, how does that work? Oh, I could join a male book club.
Right.
So these are type of things. I enjoy public speaking. Most people don't enjoy public speaking.
Okay.
So can I enjoy, what is it called? Roasters or something? Or
Toastmasters.
Maybe I join Toastmasters or something of that nature. Yeah. But these are places where I can find like-minded individuals.
Very good.
Build connections with these like-minded individuals now.
Very good. Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything to add to that. Is that you have to take some action to put yourself in the arenas where these people are. Social media is a great way to find groups. Just go out into space physically with people. Now, some people, met recently online, but you have to, take some action. They're out there. But yeah, I mean, that list is great. And you do a great job of saying, hey guys, I'm going here, you enjoying, da-da-da. And man, I don't think you have anything to add to that.
I think it becomes almost, what's the term I'm looking for? Odd, weird, strange, to be a grown man, be like, hey, I gotta go find new friends. Right? That our society doesn't really lend towards that. Like, so who'd you come here with? I'm just by myself. Oh, you really? Well, why do you enjoy it? So well, first off, I love this topic. But I'm looking to make new friends as well.
That is funny. It's a 40-year-old. Play with some new play dates.
But when we talk about lifelong learning, part of that is building new relationships as well. Learning from new people. Putting yourself out there. So it's all part of that process.
And being the beginner, being willing to be the beginner someplace again. It's really important. But you're a great example of that. You really do a good job of that. So
I appreciate that, B.
Appreciate you pulling us along. It's a yanker. It's a yanker over here.
All right. So you have anything else to add today?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
All right. So let's run through this real quick. So why most men are rarely challenged by their friends. We talked about that part being that it's simple. We're not challenged by our friends because challenging someone can be uncomfortable. We don't want to cause chaos. We don't want to disrupt the status quo. So we don't challenge people when people don't challenge us a lot of times. But you have to have that one, at the minimum, that one person that'll call you out and say, bruh, no, you're bluffing. Number two, the danger of being the strong one in a weak circle. Listen, it's like crabs in a barrel. You might be trying to get out, but if you remain the strongest person in that circle, they're going to pull you back down and you're going to fall into some bad habits.
Need a new barrel.
Need a new barrel. There it is. All right. Number three, how shared bad habits feel like loyalty.
Handcuffs.
That's it. It's that loyalty versus standards thing, right? Loyalty and standards should be aligned.
Yes.
If they're not aligned, if your standards are way up here, and your loyalty down here, or your loyalty's way up there, and the standards are way down there, it's not going to work. You have the wrong group of friends. Make the list, check it twice.
Savage move.
Number four, why growth threatens group identity. And we talk specifically about when you grow and you start introducing new topics, new concepts, new ideas into that group, it disrupts the identity of the group specifically. So if your group identity was happy hour, and now you're sending information about conferences, about entrepreneurship, the group's like, yo, what is this? It disrupts the identity of the group. Number five, choosing proximity over alignment. As you work with someone doesn't mean you're aligned with that person in terms of where you're traveling in your life and where they're traveling in their life.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, and we talked about that. That particular step takes a lot of work.
right.
Yeah. So, but we're about to work. We're in a tribe that's about that work.
Now, do you want to leave them with the quote up there? I love that quote.
Hey, the wrong crowd, the wrong circle will clap while you ruin your own life. That's a bad crowd, fellas.
And they will be like, yeah, good.
Yeah. And what they'll, at the very least, they'll be silent when you're ruining your life. And they'll talk about you behind your back. So get a circle that's gonna tell you the truth straight up, roll with you through it while you're trying to grow. And then applaud when you make any kind of incremental growth towards the man you want to be.
Yeah, it's very important to be aware of why they're clapping, right? Are they clapping because, yo, you just crushed it? You just leveled up as a man?
Yeah.
Or are they clapping because, bruh, that was some good stuff. That was funny. But it didn't help, but it was funny.
Oh, yeah. So choose circle wisely, guys.
Yeah.
As we always say, that circle's going to make you. So,
yeah. All right.
So until next time,
I'm John.
I'm Kelly.
Peace.